All right, guys, this is our what to watch portion, and this is a non-spoiler review. So
Okay.
we are not going to give away any details. This is the section where we kind of talk about like what I'm watching, what compared to what he's watching, and we try to convince the other person to take a chance with the show or the movie or whatever. Now we watched the trailer for V Wars, and
Oh.
you made fun of it on Netflix.
I am a
You were
doctor.
yeah, yeah, you
Fucking
made fun
dumb.
of it on on Netflix. You were saying that it's like, oh, it's just gonna be
I
like
said I hope the story
vampires
carries
then,
it because the
yeah.
writing was shit.
Okay, so I have finished all 10 episodes.
Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Talk to
It
me.
is it is not what you think it is. It's not a vampire show in the sense that these vampires can't walk in the sun, or they can't, or you kill them with a stake, or
It's not a vampire show? What's the name of the show again?
Hold on, hold on. It's called V Wars.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Now, the only thing that basically what happens is these two best friends um, go and investigate because they lost contact with somebody like way up in the North Pole or somewhere. I don't know.
No
Somewhere
spoilers.
really.
Be careful.
I know. This is very first episode. They go and they go. They're like, why are we getting contact with him? Two best friends go visit. They can't find him, but they're exposed to something that basically the main character, Ian Somerhalder's character, is a scientist who's been saying like, we're not going to be, us as human beings are not going to be extinct by war or something.
Could be an evolution of something bigger.
Yes, okay. It's going to be something old. Actually, it's going to be something because it's about global warming and everything's melting, and all of these old diseases from these old animals or people or stuff are coming out of the ice.
Hold on. The reason the virus gets released is because some woolly mammoth got thawed out because of global warming, and the disease it held frozen up there for so long has penetrated the world and starts fucking things up. Is that what the whole story is?
Wait. They both get exposed to something, and they come back and they basically are put into quarantine, but everything seems fine, and they both leave. Well, the scientist, Luther, nothing changes in him, but his best friend basically starts craving blood. Now, the only thing that these characters, and they're called Bloods.
I bet it starts with the rawest meat, like he's eating a steak and it's incredibly raw. It doesn't start like that?
Nope.
Okay.
No, it doesn't start like that. But basically, he loses time, and he realizes that he is... Basically, they're calling them vampires and stuff. They end up taking over the name Bloods because the only thing they have in common with vampires is
the only thing that can counter them is the Crips.
But it's actually a pretty good story. It's consistent with action in every story. And you were like, "Oh, it's going to be overly sexualized," and it wasn't.
No, I did not say that. I said whenever they have a lull and they need to do something, they're going to have a sex scene just to kind of spice it up and try to keep your interest. How many sex scenes were there? 2? 3?
No, actually, I can't remember. Like
literally in the trailer, there's multiple different things where people are like passionately making out and like shirts ripping off and everything.
Nope. There were no sex scenes. There were like a couple build up, but then it always stopped.
So it's a dick tease show. Gotcha.
It's actually really good. I really enjoyed because it's more grounded in reality. It's more grounded in government conspiracy, government oversight, government
global
control.
Warming.
Well, yeah, that's how it starts, but that doesn't follow through the whole thing because once the virus is out, it's out. But you only get affected by it by it's not biting and then you turn into a vampire. It's actually if you have a gene already in your body. Like this is passed down.
So it's like the mutants?
Kind of. Yes, because they talk about how they're the next level of evolution, pretty much.
This sounds like it's got a lot of different branches. Instead of it being like a tree trunk of a story, it sounds like it's like, and
no, it's the tree trunk of the story is the fact that the government is corrupt, and then it branches out from there.
What a unique story.
Yes, I know. I enjoyed it. I really like the way that it ends. It sets up really well because the whole first season you see this scientist like thrown into these circumstances where he doesn't believe in like firing guns, but he has to. These people are trying to kill him. He's
So he
trying to
doesn't
find a
believe in
cure.
firing guns? He believes
Well,
in guns.
he doesn't believe in like using a gun. They're like, here's a gun. He's like, no, I don't want to use that. He definitely comes around to it though, because he has to survive. But
Yeah.
it's an interesting story in the fact that it doesn't take you. It's different than what any other vampire show you've ever watched, because it doesn't focus on the traditional vampire. It grounds it more in
Probably why there's no
reality
sex.
and what the government would do if this disease was real. So
it's like a The Boys, but with vampires, because it makes you feel like it's a real situation. It's not based in a fantasy world. It's okay.
I could kind of relate it to that. The story is definitely the driving factor.
Which I said that's the only saving factor. How was the writing? Because it looked like shit.
It was good. It got better. That line that you made fun of was fairly early in it. Yes. But
good
I really like the way
and tolerable are different things. I want to know.
I said good.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it. Like I said, I watched the first 5 episodes in a day, and then powered out the rest of them over the course of the next 2 days. So just because I had other stuff going on, but
okay.
I very much enjoyed it. I like the way that it's set up for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have a new dynamic, I think, in season 2, but it was very, very well done. And I'm really interested to see where they go from here, because I like the government corruption and the different branches of government.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these people are trying to be good, and these people are trying to manipulate these people, and these people. It's really interesting in that sense. And then you add in the
I think
blood stuff.
We haven't done too many of these where we're trying to convince the other one to actually watch something. I think we should wrap up when we get done talking about the show, saying, so have I convinced you to watch it? So go ahead and ask me.
Have I convinced you to watch it?
No, I'm not going to watch it. I'm
All
not
right,
going to watch it.
Anybody out there who has seen it, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think that he should watch it? Do you think it's absolute trash? Did you binge it in a weekend? I want to know what everybody else thinks, because I can't convince you, but maybe I convince somebody else.
All right, my turn.
Go for it.
This is a show I watched season 1 of at one point in time, and I binged it pretty hard within a 2-3 day window, and watched all of season 1. It's been years since I watched it, and I had the urge to watch it after we did our Golden Globe stuff, because we couldn't pronounce his fucking name. Mr. Robot. So I went ahead, I threw Mr. Robot on, and I remember watching the first episode. I was like, man, I really like this show. So I rewatched. I started from season 1, episode 1. I have no idea what it's about.
How many seasons are there?
A little. I think Russell would like it a little more than yourself, because it's more techie. Even if you don't understand the techie stuff, you understand what's happening. Even if you're like, what's a DDoS attack? I don't know what that is. You'll understand it. You don't, do you? So, personally, I'm restarting Mr. Robot. I'm trying to watch at least one episode a night. When I get home late in the evening, watch an episode or two. I ended up watching the first, I think, 2 or 3 episodes, and it pulled me back in. And I'm really looking forward to being able to continue the journey on it. I've heard nothing but good things. But I heard season 1 is solid, season 2 is meh, and season 3 is good. And then season 4, I think, just came out, and I think somebody said that is amazing.
Really?
So,
there's only been 4 seasons? I feel like it's been around for a lot longer.
I don't know. I'm just starting at the beginning and working my way.
What's it on?
I believe it's on. Oh, is it Netflix? Hold on, watch this. Mr. Robot streaming.
I mean, I think you can find
YouTube's
it on Netflix.
got it. Sling, Amazon Prime.
But where does it
USA.
originate? Is it
USA?
USA?
Mm-hmm.
Network?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, good for them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect them to have such an original show.
I have a feeling that that's probably their best show they've had in years.
Probably.
But
yeah.
I really enjoy it because his personality, especially, I at least challenge you this. Even if I don't convince you to watch the series, watch the first episode. It will be longer. It seemed incredibly long. But watch the first episode and tell me that you don't see me when in this show. Basically,
why would I want to watch more of you?
Because he's a better version of me. He's very more tech savvy and available, and I would just say that at least get the first episode to try so you can see what it's like. But think of Dexter, but instead of killing, he's more on the tech side.
I was gonna actually say the way that you kind of talked about it and the way that the seasons went, it was kind of like
Yeah,
it
like
sounded
Dexter.
like Dexter.
Remember
Yeah,
season 4 is amazing.
yeah.
Oh, fucking
Hopefully it
Trinity.
doesn't. Hey, is this its last season 4?
I don't
think
know.
I heard that it's wrapping up soon.
I try to stay out of the loop when shows do multiple seasons, and I don't get started when it gets started. Like The Witcher, I'm going to start when it starts.
Yeah.
But this one is one that I didn't have interest until season 2, season 3, something like that. I don't like watching something that continues to move my finish line. So if this is the final season, that'll give me more incentives because I know from beginning to end, and I can watch my progression through it. But if they keep moving that finish line, that's probably why I faded. They were probably finishing season 2, getting ready to start 3. When I started, I'm like, they're starting another season? Well, I might as well just stop watching. I'll finish it when I can binge it all and not be held back.
Yeah.
But I would recommend this at least to see that side of the world because it is a lot
It's the final season.
It is?
Season
Perfect.
Season 4. The 4th season is the final season. That's what I thought I heard.
Perfect.
So you will be able to binge everything.
The way he views society, the way he views people, the way he actually feels kind of awkward in social situations.
So it's just about him? Is it what about him? What's his is it just about his journey in dealing with like a certain issue?
Again, I've started rewatching it. I'm 2 episodes in. And
okay.
It's by the time the second episode came around, it's more of he always does his own. Think of, like I said, the Dexter situation. There's he's got a drug dealer friend, and this girl gets beat by her guy, but the guy is the main drug dealer of what he gets supplied with. So he's like, should I throw him in jail? I'm going to be out of supply if that's the case. But he does morphine. And because that's kind of numbs him from the world and everything, but he also does the opposite of the drug to be able to kind of keep you from becoming a junkie on it. So he does them in equal amounts, so he can actually get them use the morphine, but not become addicted to it. But
so this is how you should use drug, kids. Use drugs like this, and you'll be okay.
If he protects his friend and throws him in jail, then he doesn't get a supply to be able to keep him from being addicted to it. So it's kind of those dilemmas. Now, there is a major thing on it because he does find it like an underground group, like major hacking base that is all about trying to get rid of Evil Corp. And Evil Corp, think of Apple and Amazon put together. It's basically E-Corp.
It's not called Evil Corp.
No, he views it through his eyes as Evil Corp. So he sees like advertisements that say Evil Corp and stuff. But think of like Enron, Apple, and Amazon, all 3 of them put together. They have their fingers in everything. And he finds a group that is in the process or needs his assistance to kind of try to take it down and erase the debt of the world and everything of that sort.
Fight Club.
Yeah. Like a Fight Club situation.
Okay.
But less explosives, I would say. So
more technical side.
Yeah. So it drew me back in on there, and I'm eagerly waiting to continue watching an episode a night. I want to knock this completely out. All right. Besides Mandalorian, that's the only thing really on my plate. And The Witcher. Oh my God. How many episodes is The Witcher, by the way? Because I'm gonna keep bringing it up.
I'll look it up. I will say that
10.
Don't really know if I'm convinced to watch it, to be honest.
The Witcher?
No.
Oh.
Mr. Robot.
Oh.
The Witcher, obviously.
No, I said even if you don't watch it, watch at least the first episode for me. That's all I ask. It's not even a homework assignment.
If you're asking that, then I can ask that.
Well, you can.
Yeah.
There's a difference between me respecting your wishes, though.
Oh, thanks. The Witcher is 8 episodes, by the way.
Are they an hour? They better be, because that doubles the Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, they're supposed to be an hour.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that was our What to Watch non-spoiler review of V-Wars on Netflix and Mr. Robot on USA. But you can watch it on pretty much any streaming service at this point because they've had 4 seasons. So I thought that was a pretty good review.
I agree. And if anybody in the comments wants to, if they've seen both or have opinions about, since I'm not as far into it as Mrs. I watch every fucking episode as soon as it comes out. I'm only 2 episodes at a month. If anybody has comments and that has seen both, please give it like a maybe a what you prefer as a
They're
personal
very
opinion between.
different
They are.
shows,
They are. But if somebody's seen both of them, then they could say, "Oh, I like this one more," or "I like this one more," or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I
One's
like this
also-
one because of this.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hate
yeah.
this one because of this. All right.
Yeah. I want to get more into the Mr. Robot, but I'm just taking my time with it.